So, good morning or good night, depending on where you are in the world. And welcome to another album collaboration review of The Shield Dude on a Couch. I'm your host, Hector. And today we're here to talk about the new album by The Cure, which Señorita Sabrosura has on her hand. So, yes, this is the new The Cure album. So I'm joined by Señorita Sabrosura. And also I have El
El dude,
Duderino, a.k.a. Señor Sabroso.
representing this Sabrosura. Thank you
Sabrosura
for having us. Thank you for
Yes.
having us. Dude.
So, yeah, we're here to talk about maybe one of the most anticipated albums of 2024.
Has to be. Has to
Yeah,
be.
right. Yeah.
of a couple of years.
Yes. Like I don't remember when.
Maybe two. Remember two?
Yeah, but I think they said I think they just announced it like a few months ago. It wasn't like a huge like they just like
No,
they waited.
they announced it in 2019, but the pandemic and a
So
lot of things
did they
happened.
announce the name of the album, or they said
No,
he
no,
said he was working on your music,
yeah,
Robert Smith?
no, no, just a few months ago, it's when they released the single and the name of the album.
Yeah, you know what they did? They waited. I'm like, okay, Oasis just put something. Oasis is reuniting. Like who else was putting out new? Oh, Linkin Park has a new singer, and then they went, "We're back," and they stole everyone's thunder. And
I
they're like,
mean,
"Fuck you, Linkin Park. Fuck
I
you,
mean,
Oasis."
we're talking we're talking about the Cure. You know.
Yeah, yeah. So they did it. Yeah, because that right now everyone's announcing something. So yeah, the album. Then I'm gonna show the picture again. This is the album. And what's the name? Songs of a Lost World.
Sons of
We
the Lost World. And you know what? I just realized my T-shirt from when I saw them last year.
mm,
It says "Show of a Lost World,"
oh,
Oh,
and
okay.
it's like, oh, that's almost the same as the album, but instead of
Yes,
"Oh," it's "Songs of a Lost World."
it looks like a cool T-shirt. And for all the perverts in the comments, her husband is online. So 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 watch it with the
Robert
comments.
Smith is judging you. Looking at you and judging you too.
I mean, guys.
No, we had one in the Smashing Pumpkins comment.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I, I don't blame him. You know.
yeah. Yeah, but he's right here. So yeah, we're here to talk about this highly anticipated album. And this album is, it's 8 tracks, but it's 49 minutes in length. And you know what's funny? When I was listening to this album, Señorita, I was thinking of last year we had Depeche Mode
Yes.
coming up with, and it's like these 80s bands coming up with records that are as good or even on the same level as their classic albums. And to
Yeah.
me, this is The Cure is what Depeche Mode did last year. It was like a surprise. I knew that The Cure was going to be good, but it's super good. It's. I've been the whole weekend listening to it, but this is an album that you have to let it sit with you so you can do the review first.
Yes.
Yeah.
We've been listening
That,
to the album the whole weekend. Streaming. We just got the vinyl today, so we haven't listened to the vinyl.
Yeah,
But
after this.
yeah. But we knew it was gonna be good. And after the second single, Judarino told me like just pre-order. We know it's gonna be good.
Yeah.
you have to. I mean, uh, after what 12 years without
16.
releasing music,
16.
16 years. The last
16
album was
years,
in 2008. Uh,
413 something, right?
yeah, it was 31 years old the
Uh,
last time they put out a record. So yeah, it's been a long time. So
but
yeah, people, we you know the drill. Like first, we're gonna talk about like our first impressions of when we listen to this. Then we'll talk about favorite tracks from the album, and Señorita will pick the whole album.
I mean, this time is kind of
This is a
you know,
hard
it's hard.
album to pick songs from, and
Yeah.
then we'll give it a score and say our final thoughts from it. So Señorita, like your initial thoughts when you started listening to this
Well,
record.
like I said, after listening to the first two singles, I knew it was gonna be good, so we pre-ordered, and we were not disappointed on first listen to the whole album. They got me. Like, I immediately love it. Robert Smith and The Cure in general is showing us how to mature and how to do like a comeback record, like really good. He even though he's still wearing the same makeup, the same hair, is the same persona. You can see like how he has aged gracefully, how he writes songs like very mature. Like when we talk about Billy Corgan, that he was trying to do a sequel of the Melancholy and Infinite Sadness, and we agree that he failed. Well, Robert Smith did that, but it unintentionally and without saying nothing, because this could be easily like a sequel to Disintegration. And he's 65 years old and he keeps achieving greatness. His voice, I think, is just good as the early days. But the album also, the lyrics, the instrumentals are great. So yeah.
Yeah, your first impressions. What about you, El Duderino?
Well, like Señorita said, it's the fact that the guy still has the same hairdo and wears makeup, 65-year-old, tells you he's that character, he's that person. And in listening to the album, you can see that there's an honesty through their music. His voice is intact. I mean, it hasn't changed from 30 years ago. You listen to that first single alone. You listen to that long intro, lush, and then at the 3-minute mark, his voice just hits. Like this is the end of every song we sang, and you know that he's there. And for me, it's a masterpiece. I'm gonna give away that. Not in terms of technicalities and stuff. It's just a music that connects with you, like really talks to you on an emotional level. So
So
the guitar, I love the guitar. It's different. It has some bluesy stuff, some distortion. Some of the songs
yeah,
different from previous records, but yes, it's kind of a coda to Disintegration. It's kind of a reverse of that album.
yeah, it kind of has like like that tone.
Tone and thematically, yeah. But for different perspective, it's 35 years of difference.
It's been a while, and Duderino, because you have long hair, you can commit to that. You should teach your hair, and you could have had his hairdo.
It takes too much, like a spray, hairspray.
Maybe for next Halloween, I'm telling you, you can dress as him because you got the long hair. You just have
Okay.
or you could do an Edward Scissorhands.
Yeah. Maybe you got some maha, and
Yeah, I'm giving you so
Thank you
for
for
me, yeah, I'm
thank you
giving
for
you
the
like that's a good
suggestion.
idea
No,
because
no,
I have,
it's not bad.
yeah. So for me, the first song I listened was Alone, and I gotta be honest, the first time I heard it, I was like impatient, like when is he gonna fucking sing? But now when I listen to that song, it goes like to me starts like singing sooner. I don't know why. It's because I appreciate it more. Maybe at the beginning, I think because we're so used to now to have
Yeah,
songs like start
yeah,
and people start
yeah.
singing in like 20 or 30 seconds. It's a lost art form because back in the 80s and 90s, a lot of bands, there's songs
Intros,
that
log intros. Yeah,
long intros, like because Metallica did it, even
yeah.
Pearl Jam did it.
Black
Um,
Sabbath, you
and it
know,
Yeah, you had
like
like that long intro and then they started, but yeah, I like it when he goes like this is the end. And this
uh,
this album I was reading, it's not a concept album per se, but there's my friend Chili from Live Listening Race was comparing this album to David Bowie's last album, The Black
oh
Star.
yeah, Black Star. Yeah,
I was gonna
yeah,
say that in later.
Oh,
yeah.
I
No,
stole
no,
your
no, no.
thunder.
But it deals with loss and
Yeah,
Yes,
endings of
when I
cycles.
listen to it, he's right. When I listen to it, it reminds me of Black Stars from Bowie because it feels like a bittersweet goodbye. Even though Robert Smith said he's gonna do more music and he's planning other albums, but this one felt like bittersweet goodbye. It deals
yeah.
with loss and
He's
grief.
contemplating his own mortality because
Yes.
there's a part where he says like, "How did I get so old?"
Then I guess at 65 you do that.
Yeah, he
I
knows
I,
go
I do
anytime.
that now at 47.
Me too. Me too. That's why I think it connects.
Yeah. And so yeah, the first impression for me, at first alone, like it seemed like, oh, it takes too long, but then I'm like, but
Yeah.
I was listening to it, I'm like, it's so complex. I'm thinking, have we become so accustomed to like having everything so quick and fast that we can't appreciate a great buildup?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. Nothing like slow cooking music for
yeah.
me. Like,
And yeah, that's a great way to start the album. And then the second single, I think it was A Fragile Thing.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's a
Yeah.
beautiful love song. It's a breakup song. Uh,
Yeah. A little more orbit, like the rhythm, the
yeah,
piano.
a little bit more faster. Yeah. And then I listened to the rest of the record. I listened to it at first on Friday morning, and I was like, wow. I was like,
Yeah.
this is great. So it got me hooked on the first listen.
Yeah.
And it was the type of album that when it ended, I wanted to listen to it again.
Yeah.
But it's good that we kept a few days to listen to it and absorb it because since this is an album that hasn't been out like a first one in 16 years, you need to let it sit with you so you can truly appreciate it, not just like throw out a half-assed review like of something that it's more complex. So
Yeah.
yeah, so those were our first impressions. So Mary, what are your favorite tracks?
Well, you know me, I like a lot of songs, but I only pick a few. Alone, the first single, it got me. Uh, it opens the album with dramatic guitars, with the slow build up. Um, it's it feels super melancholic, and it felt like just a reminder, like, hey, we're back, and we're back with this just to captivate us. Uh, but when I listened to the first album, it was weird for me that that was the first song of the album because it felt like a closer. But when I
Until
listened to
you
the
listen to the closer.
but when I listen to the closing song, it makes sense. So it makes sense for me. So it's a great song and it sets the pace of the album. Um, Another favorite, it's And Nothing Is Forever. I thought this could be the opening song too. It's such a beautiful and delicate song with the instrumentals, the long intro. And what got me also, it's the lyrics. Like Robert Smith, it's very dark but in a beautiful way, and with the strings and the sings. I don't know, I think he's preparing, like we said, for the end of his life, for the end of his career. um
He was
and
emo before there were emos.
yeah,
The original emo,
The original
and
emo.
and
the
my
Godfather.
favorite track of the album, it's I Can Never Say Goodbye. The piano, the beginning of the song, it remind me of Now and Then from the Beatles, the song the Beatles released posthumous from John Lennon. Like I was listening to the album and then I listened to the piano. It's like, wait, did it change? Like, and this no, this is still the Cure. It remind me the piano from that song from Now and Then. But what got me from this song, besides that it's such another beautiful song, is it's about grief and Robert Smith accepting that he can never get truly closure. This song it's dedicated to his brother that passed away, so it's a reminder of how beautiful and heartbreaking grief is. And
Yeah.
bonus track that we talk Ensign, I thought it was a great closer, a great way of ending the album. It goes like for full circle, taking the whole thing in. And I loved also the long instrumental intro. I love that this album has like a few songs with long instrumental intros. And I saw the interview and he said like some of the songs he didn't want like the music to be a backdrop to the lyrics. He wanted the instrumentals to be more upfront.
Yeah, he wanted to depress you before he started singing.
So yeah, those were my
You did
favorite
it,
tracks.
Robert Smith. Nice. So I like job well done, Robert Smith.
Oh, he
Yeah,
made it.
now I'm depressed. So what about you, Duderino? What track stood out for you?
Well,
Duderino.
it's boring, but it's just the same tracks that Senorita just mentioned, and basically for the same reasons. You know, Alone for me is the perfect opening song because it really sets you on the mood of what the album it's about, which is accepting that everything ends, you know, and we are alone. Uh, sonically and thematically, just set the tone for the whole album. And Nothing Is Forever. It's one of the most beautiful songs, really, that they have done. That piano, the strings, you know, that chorus when he says, "I know nothing lasts forever. My world has grown old, but I don't care," you know. You know? And then End Song. End Song is a classic Cure song. Drum patterns, chord progression, beautiful guitar phrases. Drone, no drone. It's a nice change of pace.
Oh yeah.
It's kind of intermission, you know. Very groovy. I was listening over to the interview, and he said that there were drones flying over his house. That's where he, you know, wrote the song.
He got very pissed, and
I
then
would be pissed too.
yeah, because drones over his house spying on him. And but he says very funny, we were talking about this early, that he said like, and I realized I'm becoming a grouch, like a grumpy old man.
Like, get off my air.
Yeah. Get those fucking flying things on my house.
I fucking hate drones. They're so stupid. I know they can take some cool shots. Of they you can take cool
But
shots
imagine,
if you're like a
yeah,
photographer.
yeah.
But like a few months ago, I was at Best Buy with my son, and he saw a drone. He's like, "Daddy, I want that." I'm like, "It's $3,000." I'm like, "Fuck no." I didn't say fuck no to him.
There's just one more thing to write down to the stupid things in the world, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
What
So
about
Drones.
Chill
yeah.
Dude? What were your
So
favorite tracks?
for me, I thought Alone was going to be a hardcover. No, I'm kidding. How do I get you alone? But no. But it wasn't a
Uh,
hardcover. I was like, oh no, I thought he was gonna be a cover. No, obviously it's a joke. So it's a great one, but I want to pick a song that none of you have picked, and I
all
think it's
right.
fucking awesome. War Song.
Worst.
Oh,
Yep.
Because
Warzone, my man.
that's more aggressive one, and
Oh
and
yeah.
it has more distorted guitar. So you know me, I'm a metal guy.
Yeah,
So
that song gave me like industrial vibes and
mhm.
drumming
The
set.
Reeds gave it us.
It's the most aggressive song on the record
Yeah.
for the Cure, because the Cure is not known to be like aggressive. They have some rocky, funky stuff to them, but that was like the one of the most aggressive. I think I Can Never Say Goodbye is just beautiful. And I thought it was beautiful before I read the backstory that it's about his brother. But I think it could be about his brother, but it could mean like different. It could be you saying goodbye to a loved one, someone, like your husband or your whatever. So it feels like something like that. So it's pretty cool. All I Ever Am is good too, but I think that it suffers from being between I Can Never Say Goodbye and End Song. So it's
Yeah,
it's good, but it's the song that is between those great two tracks. Uh, Not to say there's any filler on this album, because there is not.
No, no, none.
I like End Song because I like it because I think I like that how it builds and how it's almost like a 10-minute album closer.
yeah.
Uh, and it doesn't feel
Yeah.
that long.
No.
And I think it really bookends the album with the themes. And I like what he says, like that's the song where he says like he's gotten so old. And Sheely thought that he was that the album was this was their swan song, but no, I didn't. It doesn't
No.
feel like a swan song. It feels like just an album thinking about your own mortality. And plus, come on, he was writing this during COVID those times. So I think
Yeah.
it's an album that must have been with dealing with all of that. So yeah, I think it really. The other one I would say as I say, and Nothing Is Forever. It's just a beautiful,
Yeah, it's
a
beautiful.
beautiful. It's hard to pick favorite songs from a record
No,
that's this
Yeah.
good.
and it's
Yeah.
only 8 songs.
It's only 8 songs. Yeah.
They
8 songs,
were gonna
49
be
minutes.
they were gonna be 13 songs, but he didn't want the album to be that long. So
Yeah.
he shortened it. And he says like, oh, the album feels all day doom and gloom. So let me
Yeah.
remove some songs so it doesn't be all doom and gloom. Just a little
Yeah.
bit.
Just a little
Pull it
bit.
off.
And the funny
Yeah.
thing is that when this came out on Friday, I was going to prepare for an Is It That Bad that Sunday, but I was saying like, no, the first album I'm going to listen to is The Cure. And then
Oh, yeah.
I listened to Skillet. You're like, wow, I went from perfection to pure shit.
Like a drop of,
Oh my God. Oh my
100
God.
stories.
Yes, it's like when you listen to this album and then you have to listen to something else, you're like, wow.
But isn't that life?
Yes. So yeah. So we've all talked about tracks from this record. So Mary, from a 1 to 10, what will you rate this?
For me, this is a 10.
A 10.
I
What?
I could I like the whole album. I like the whole songs. I didn't mention all the songs, but I like the album from beginning to finish. And even though it's like 42 minutes, you said it felt
49.
49.
49. it felt short. I wanted more, and it's like, okay, let me listen to it again because I wanna enjoy it and listen it to more than once. I love how spacey and ethereal feeling it has. The melancholy piano, the dream pop guitars, the drum sounds very The Cure classic sound. Uh, and it felt like very cohesive, like from beginning to finish.
And
Like,
good bass. The bass sounds really
Oh,
good.
the bass
oh,
is sick.
yeah,
The bass
yeah,
is sick.
all the instrumentals, the strings, the bass, everything. It sounds like really good. And the thing is, we saw 3 of these songs live at Riot Fest. They opened
Oh,
the set with Alone, and then they sing uh and
Fragile Thing?
uh and Nothing Is Forever, and then they ended with Emson.
Ooh, nice.
So, and yeah, like I said, when I first listened to it, it reminded me when I first listened to Black Star from Bowie. But like, I didn't want to had that feeling because when I listened for the first time to Bowie, Black Star, he died 2 days later. When after the album was released, it's like, okay, Robert Smith, please don't die.
He
He's
likes
still
tea,
alive.
you know. Yeah,
Yeah,
he drinks a
yeah,
lot of
but
tea, and
it's a very beautiful album. It's an album that you have to listen more than once, but not because it's just because like you want to listen to it more. And it's a very introspective record, and I think it's a great comeback. For me, it's a 10.
Yeah. This is how you make a comeback. So what about you, Duderino?
I have to agree. It's a 10 for me too. There's nothing I can say that can get that 10 down. It's just timeless. It's one of those things that you're gonna put that decks and it's gonna give you something like joy, strangely from up doom and gloom. It's just the sincerity and the light that comes through, both in the lyrics and the music. The fact that 30 years later they still going strong and being this serious about music, it's a testament to their character. I think it's gonna be timeless. This is one of those things.
Yeah. It's like the type of album that's just been out a few days and you think like it's a classic fucking record.
Yeah, it is. It is, and it's a great feeling, you know, to hear that for the first time.
Yeah. So, Manuel, I challenge you now to listen to Skillet.
You think you think it's a challenge, or
You'll be like,
kind of torture?
no, it's a
Kind of
torture.
torture. And,
So,
you know, I'm very open to new
yeah.
things.
No,
You know,
but that's why I have Is It That Bad?
is
I
that
take
bad?
one
Is
for
that bad? I'm gonna ask you.
it's yeah, I gave it 2 thumbs down.
That's the max. That's the max.
I gave it 2 thumbs down.
Because
Not the
you have
Cure
only
people.
2 hands. If you have 4 hands, it will be 4.
Everything, my feet. So this is the first time on when I do a collaboration with Mary that I'm actually giving an album a perfect 10.
Yeah,
There's
yeah,
this is just a flawless record. The production is great. The
yeah.
songs are memorable. The lyrics are great. Robert Smith sounds great, and not only that, he sounds great, and he sounds like it doesn't sound like he's being out of tune because
No,
sometimes
no,
we
no.
listen to
No.
records.
Pitch
Uh,
perfect. Pitch
yeah,
perfect.
and we like the Depeche Mode from last year, but I
Yeah,
think there was one song that we didn't like, but on this one we like
this one is perfect. You know,
every track.
yeah,
Uh, so
it's
uh,
rare.
I I can safely say that this is going to be in a lot of top of the album end of year list.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
and when I do my top 5 with Sabrosura, we could have that album.
It
it
has to
could
be
be in
there.
common. It,
It
will
It
will be
has
the
to be
first
there.
time we have the same
it
the
will be
same
the first time
album.
that we have a same album. But you know what? There's this has been a good year for like legacy bands making great albums. You had Pearl Jam releasing a great album
Yes.
Compared to this one, it's good, but it's not as great as this one. You have Judas Priest putting out like some
album.
amazing work. So you have like bands, like older bands,
Yeah.
well into their career, releasing great material. So
Killing it.
Yeah, the thing
Yeah.
is, they have made it. They have nothing to prove, and they still made something great.
Yeah. So yeah, we want to know from you, Couchers, what do you think of Songs of a Lost World by The Cure? Would you also give it a perfect 10? Or comment down below, what do you think of the record? Do you like The Cure? Because not a, I know there's people that probably don't like The Cure. They're out there. And, you know,
I feel
I would
sorry for you
recommend,
guys.
yeah, if you were a fan of The Cure, of their earlier material, and you're that, because there's people that are like, oh, I don't like their newer stuff. This is as great, or like it goes toe to toe with their classic albums.
Yeah, it's reminiscent of those early days.
It's that good.
Yeah.
It's that good. No BS.
Tell you, this is the comeback album of the year, because you know it came out, and it's just simply such a great album that, you know, like every The Cure fan should love. So, Couchers, we want to know from you. Comment down below. Let us know what you think of this record. And coming up in a few weeks, Señorita Sabrosura and me, we're going to talk about the new Marilyn Manson record. And for that one, we'll have to speak about all the controversies and stuff. So, but also, like, we're also going to be evaluating the music. So that's
Get your popcorn. Get your popcorn ready. Yeah.
yeah. Do
Please
the
don't
Reno,
cancel
do
us.
you want to be on that one too?
You know, I'm not into Marilyn Manson. I went with Señorita and the girls to the concert. It was a great concert. The guy put a great show.
So,
but I'll prefer to be on the sidelines, you know,
yeah,
maybe
you'll
eating
be on the
popcorn and
sidelines for-
listening to ramblings.
He told me and my friends, "You look like 15 years old, screaming,
Oh yeah,
singing Marilyn Manson."
yes,
And
Yeah,
yeah.
and
that's why you went there.
we regress and we look like
Oh.
15 years old,
Oh.
but we had so much
Oh.
fun.
That was
Yeah.
the reason you were there with your friends, you know.
Yeah. So and after that video, we'll have our top 5 albums of the year, like we do every year. And maybe this year, after that we should do like anticipated albums for next year, because I think I think we didn't do it this year. Where
That would
take
be
a look at
nice.
album- and
That would be cool.
I still have no idea what's coming out next year, but in December I'll check it out. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
we'll see.
yeah. So El Duderino, he doesn't have a YouTube page, but he on Señorita Sabrosura's channel, he's there. Yeah.
I'm a ghost, but this ghost appears sometimes, you know. So
Supposed to do a video over the weekend, but we were busy.
We're
What's
gonna make
next for
it.
you,
When,
Señorita?
you know.
Do you have a video planned soon?
Yeah, supposedly we have been planning that video for over 2 weeks. Let's see if we made it this weekend.
Yeah. So yeah. So coming up next for me on the Shield Dude on a Couch, lots of interviews this week, and next week there's no Isn't That Bad, but the last Isn't That Bad of this year, as voted by you Couchers, is the new Scientology Park record. I don't know. I mean Linkin Park. yeah, but it was like Scientology Park.
That's wow. That's an anathema.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about that one. So until next time, Couchers, this Hector, the Shield on a Couch, and when you watch this, please vote. Let your voices be heard, and hopefully in Puerto Rico we'll have a Patria Nueva. So until next time, this Hector, the Shield on a Couch, and I'll see you all right here on the couch. Thank you and goodbye.